to order. Okay, and so we're going to start out with the rules of procedure.
Sure. Vermont's open meeting law 1 VSA 312H guarantees the public a reasonable opportunity to share views on matters before the board within rules set by the chair. The select board invites comment as each agenda item comes up, so residents can take part in the process. To keep the meeting moving, time limits will be applied and remarks should stay with the agenda item being discussed.
Thank you so much, Sherry. Do we have any changes to the agenda order? No? Hearing none, we'll move on to public comments or announcements. And we have a public comment right here in the room. Alex, would you like to come forward so we can hear you? You can bring your chair.
Oh, Miranda, I need to interrupt. There's someone named Big iPad in our Zoom meeting.
I'm
we need
sorry.
you to type in your first and last name so we know that who you are. Thank you.
Okay. Do you want to introduce yourself? You can sit down and we can see you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alex Doyle, and I live in off Melody. And should I just get right into it?
Yep, that's right.
Today is what, Monday? What is today?
22nd.
Thank you. On Wednesday of last week, I was involved in a very serious car accident at Route 5 in Guilford Center Road. A gentleman, I was coming home from dropping my kids off at picking them up at school, and I was driving southbound on Route 5, and the gentleman ran the stop sign coming from Guilford Center Road and totaled my car.
With your son.
Yes.
Wow.
Here's the video of it. I was
showing it now. I'm
Is
not
everybody okay?
yeah.
sharing it yet.
Oh, we need to be able to right on that video.
Scary.
So there's a dash cam video of the accident that I had. That will pull up. And you can see he came right up to the stop sign and went right through it.
This was the other one that you sent me.
Yeah, that's the other one. The other video is great too. I have a dash camera and I capture images probably twice a week of people doing exactly, well, not doing that.
Yeah, that is the
Yeah, and that actually totaled my car. What he did was he, and I have the camera from Richmond's as well, he came to the intersection, slowed down, and then he saw another car that was going northbound coming past Melanie up towards Brattleboro, and he saw that car and he gunned it to get in front of them and slammed into us. So he didn't even see us, he said, but he actually didn't look because, you know, he would have seen us. So my point is this, I drive that way 4 times a day, sometimes more. I'm in that intersection for maybe a minute each day, you know, driving back and forth, and I've caught so many close calls on my dash cam. That's the reason I got it, was just to keep track of everything that's happened in that one intersection, because people do not stop at the stop sign. I spent a significant amount of time there today because I sent Erica the video from today. I almost got T-boned coming home at 3:30 at that exact same intersection. And what's happening is people are just rolling forward and then just gunning it to get into traffic. And my car is totaled. The guy that ran into me will face no consequences from the state police because he admitted that he ran the stop sign, so they're not going to write him a citation. There'll be nothing that will happen to him because of that, and I'm taking that up with the state police. But I went to the barracks this morning, but I would urge the select board and for Guilford residents to really take this intersection very seriously. If you stand there for any amount of time, you can see no one is stopping at the stop sign. And I would say probably every other driver is on their phone. And you could see people are on their phone, they're texting, pulling right up. I parked my car at Richmond's earlier today and just stood there and watched. And as a matter of fact, when I was there, the gentleman from across the way came out who was just in the accident up Route 5 the day before mine with the dump truck. And he drew me a map, and he would like to speak to you all as well, because we all have the same idea, which would be a blinking stop sign or something that would signify where to stop, but also you don't have a line on the road. There's no defined stop.
Yeah.
for that stop sign.
Yeah.
State doesn't have the line on the road.
Right. The state doesn't have the line on the
Not
road.
the town.
I mean, we're not talking about $1 million we need to pour into this intersection, but if you stand there and just watch, you can see exactly what's going on. No one is stopping.
Well, you
They're
could put
slow
a
rolling.
line in the road if it's
This is the
presented,
committee's,
right?
this is the whole purpose of the mandatory scoping study that we've just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could put it's a town road. We could put a line on it, right? Correct.
I don't think
Okay,
we have jurisdiction over that part of the road.
I was in contact with Mark and Megan, our district reps at V-Trans, and they said that V-Trans does control the intersections, but there are some things that the town is responsible for, like painting stop bars, things like that. So there are things we could do, and they offered not a flashing stop sign, but an improved one with reflective things on it. So
I think it's a
we
good
can
point
do
you
a small better thing.
I've always thought it was more of a.
It's the interim measure until we have the scoping study done.
Yeah, I like that because I like hearing from her because I don't, when I just got my car inspected at Richmond and, I'd like to see a crosswalk as everybody gets, goes away, but goes across Richmond. But when you're standing there as a pedestrian, you can clearly see all the way down and all the way up
Right.
to get across the road safely. I never thought about people running the stop sign, but
Right.
to me, that one stretch is a vehicle roll of the dice.
Right.
You can walk, you can stand up and just go, nobody's coming and get across the road in a nice crosswalk. But I never thought about people running the stop sign, but just, going around the corner where the country store is, every time you get out
Right,
there, you're just
right.
like rolling the dice.
Anyway, I just need to say that this is a community comment time. It's
Oh, yeah.
not, I mean, well, my heart goes out to you, Alex.
Thank you.
It's just,
Yeah.
Thank you.
So glad
it's
you're
just
okay.
a terrible thing, and it's
Thank you
really
for coming.
important
Thank
what
you.
you have to share. And, we're going to be gathering much more information from neighbors, and please encourage
Yeah.
all the people who want to get testimony about
They all
any
do.
part of it.
So
Everyone in that section, when the car accident happened, people just started running out of the buildings saying this happens all the time. Here's another one. Everyone came out saying that this happens all the time. And I just want to add also that we were not hurt, but we were forced into the other lane. And if someone was right there, we would have hit them head on also. And a car crash head on after being knocked on the side. And there was nothing that I could do to get out of the way of him running that stop sign. So I would hate for that to happen to anyone else.
No, it's really
So-
critical information,
Yeah.
and we're hearing you.
Okay,
May I
thank
ask
you.
Erica a question? Do you think, I'm pretty sure that part of the scoping study is that there will be community comment and public hearings.
Yes,
So we need to be very
yes.
out there about publishing
Definitely.
these so that people can come and share. And you probably have more videos that you can share
I do.
in that.
I have lots of other videos of people running the stop sign. And I would ask that all of you spend some time standing there and just quietly watching, because you will see people are on their phone and people are running the stop sign. And also I think that people just don't know where to stop. I think that's the big issue, and they're rolling right out onto Route 5 because there isn't a stop bar.
Yeah, the other problem there is the telephone pole. So when you pull in that intersection, the telephone pole's right there blocking your view up the road. So I
Yeah.
find myself, kind of creeping out a
Rolling
little
forward.
bit to see around the telephone.
If you stop at the stop sign, you'll notice that the cars are actually blocking your way as well, that are at the
Yeah,
auto mechanic
so,
store. But if you pull forward, you have full view, not
Right.
into. But then that's a delicate stop because you're not really sure how far you can go
Exactly.
before
Exactly.
pulling in. So,
Okay.
thank you.
Hey, thanks.
Thanks so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank
coming. You're welcome to stay for the rest of our meeting if you would like to, or.
Thank you. And thank you for all of you taking this seriously, because this could have been very difficult, very serious.
No,
So,
it's been on our minds, and some people have felt that the scoping study and everything having to do with that was sort of a boondoggle, but people who traverse that intersection
right,
know, but nobody know better than you.
right, now.
Sorry
Thank
you
you.
had to
Thank
get that
you.
information. Okay, are there any other public comments? before we go on with our meeting. I just wanted to say that this is the evening of the Jewish New Year, of Rosh Hashanah, the beginning of the most reflective time for people who are Jewish. And it's that spirit that I want us to bring to our meeting, however you interpret that. We are here for each other and for our community, however we understand. So let's move on. Okay, the next item is the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of 9/8/25. Sheila?
I'd like to propose an amendment to the minutes before we
Oh.
move to approve the minutes. May I do that? Or is that in order?
Do you first move to approve the minutes and then amend them? Or can we just entertain a revision of the meeting minutes?
I think you can approve with Sheila's amendment.
Okay, so go ahead, Sheila.
Okay. So on page 3 of the minutes, we've learned that if you are creating an ordinance, you have to publish it online and in the newspaper and give it 60 days and have a public hearing. But if you are revising an ordinance, the select board can revise and approve an ordinance. So I'd like to correct the minutes on page 3. So the sentence reads, if the data supports a lower speed limit, then the select board can revise the traffic ordinance, period. I've done it already in the minutes.
Okay.
Just so you can see that. And then a little bit farther down, the original study that we did in Guilford Center, that's when we carry out the next study, evaluate and present that study, then we revise an ordinance, period, again. So,
Okay, does everybody understand the revision?
I'm basically taking out the business about publishing, because we're not gonna create a new ordinance for every single road.
Okay, so everybody understands. Okay,
And
so.
I think it was my mistake last time, and I apologize.
Well, we're striving to understand.
Perfect.
Well, we're striving to understand. Okay, so I move we accept the minutes as amended. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, so as we're all together, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Okay, we can move on to the finances.
Okay, I would like to move that we approve the minutes as written.
Warrants.
Warrants, I meant.
Okay, you want to read them?
Payroll week 9/7/25 is $12,539.03. Payroll week 9/14/25 is $8,167.14. Payroll week 9/21/25 is $7,628.96. Expense warrant number 2606 is $100,512.48 for a total of $128,847.61.
Thank you, Tara. Is there a second?
A second.
Okay, is there any discussion about the minutes? About the warrants?
Yes.
Sorry, Tara.
No, I did it too. Payroll 9/7/25 is higher than usual due to the payout to Dickie Garland for his unused PTO. Sersosimo was $1,638 for gravel. Momney Painters, $23,500 for painting the Historical Society Museum building. Monahan Safer is $1,007.50. That's legal services. We have Green Mountain Power Agreement, speed limit research, for the legal services.
Yeah.
Mudgett Crowe Wisner Auditors was $88,500, and that's the independent audit. We have our annual contract payment to Rescue that was paid out for $52,470. Roberts Energy is diesel fuel for $1,709.29. We have culverts that were purchased from WW Building Supply for $7,975.29. And then gravel purchased at Zaluzni's for $1,596.
Thank you, Tara.
And I have something to add.
Please.
The Momney bill is to be paid out of Capital Fund 004.
Out of the capital fund, and I hope that people have noticed when they've driven by the Historical Society Museum that they just did a smashing paint job. It looks just
Yeah,
terrific.
It's really great.
So thanks to Momini's for that fine work. Okay, so now we need to vote on the warrants. All in favor of approving the warrants?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so we have approved the warrants. Okay, so next we have updates and reports, and first off, it's Ruck-Up coin drop. So let's welcome people from Ruck-Up, and please, if you want to walk your chairs up here, make yourself
I think it's just
comfortable.
gonna stand.
I'm just gonna stand. I got
Okay, well, thank you. You want to introduce yourself?
I'm Rodney White. I'm the Vice President of Ruck-Up's Outreach Program. I'm here instead of George Legace because George has had to step down due to he survived 3 cancer treatment sessions. He's reached a point where he's physically limited. He can no longer walk. So he's had to step back from being the Vice President of the fundraising. So I'm here to kind of fill in for him a little bit. And normally we have this all knocked out of the way before now, but due to the circumstances, we'd like to request permission to run our coin drop again this year for the 11th, October 11th, which is our normal
Yeah.
thing, the first weekend of, or second weekend of October, up here on Route 5, just
Yes.
north of the store. I brought some flyers in case someone's interested in looking
Yeah, I
at
think that's
we
good.
what we try and accomplish during the year.
And we can leave them in the town office
Yes, you can.
as well.
Yes,
so
because
that-
for other people who want to,
Yeah.
citizens who want to,
Does everyone know what Ruck-Up does?
We know, but
we
why
know.
don't you
Okay,
give a...
so-
Okay, yeah.
Could you
Yeah,
introduce
so
yourself?
my name is Manali King. I am the Substance Program Director at Ruck-Up. I'm also a licensed drug and alcohol counselor at my actual job. Obviously Ruck-Up's a volunteer job. So Ruck-Up is based on 3 pillars. We were founded in 2015.
2010.
2010, my bad. It's been a long week. Sorry, 2010. I've only been a part of it since for about 6 years. So Ruck-Up does homeless outreach, counseling, both group and individual, and also we do claims work for veterans, all free of charge. We also do our big suicide prevention walk for AFSP twice a year. So we do the big one in June, which is like 16 miles. It's a big overall overnight walk, either in Boston, New York City, or Washington.
This year was New York City. Next year will be Washington.
And then right now we're in the middle of our fundraising season. I just got back from the Boston Tattoo Expo last night for the last 4 days. So I'm a little wired. I work today. One of the things that we do to keep our doors open, because we don't get any state funding, is coin drops. And that's why we're here, obviously, is to request permission to do that. But we literally, every time we come and do this every year, we make, I think, about $2,000. I don't want to
2 to 3.
2 to 3.
Yeah, it is. Yep, it is.
But,
And there's people who actually save up their change.
each
So
year,
Oh, that's nice.
They come
So
in
they'll bring a
and
little
they either a baggie or they dump it into our boat.
Right?
It's
That's a
like,
good idea. A jar full of it.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
so they look for us each year, which is amazing. And so Rod is the vice president of outreach, so he spends the money. So George was obviously the fundraiser president, so he brought in money. And so just last week,
and
we were working on a family who was about to be deployed. The dad was going to be deployed in a few weeks. I think we're a family of 7.
Yep.
Their water got shut off, so part of the money that we got was what we fundraised was to
some
help
of
turn
we
it on.
raised or paid a little over 1,200 to
Yeah.
have their water turned back on.
So that's just one example.
get that,
Brad has about
But I got, like last year,
yeah.
I spent, I spent 87,000
Yeah.
keeping veterans and their families in their home with lights and heat. And I spent another 7,000 on putting out food and stuff for these same families. And
So we have a
or other
food
families.
pantry
We
as
have a
well.
food pantry. We have a marginal clothing pantry, but we had to let most of that go because of COVID and the moving. We just moved from Upper Ninth Street out to Maple.
So like 5 minutes away from each other, but it's in a big hall.
That's a big haul. That's a lot of
So
stuff.
so one of the things that we do for the outreach part is we normally do about $1,000. That's our max cap for each family or each per veteran.
Yeah, per veteran.
And so he was just saying $87,000. So if you do the math, you can see how many families we've
Yeah, we
helped.
that's 200.
And that's just what we do. We also work with other agencies to help with bigger things, obviously.
214 families last year.
So that's a little bit about what we do. Obviously, you can read more about what we do if you guys want to just pass it
And
around.
so remind us
Yes.
and everybody who, it will go in the minutes
Yes.
and also be on TV, but remind us of the time frame on that day.
Yeah,
For-
Probably up from
8 to 4.
well, I'm going to say 8:30.
Some of us don't like mornings.
I'm not a morning person, but we
So
gotta
more like
get up.
8:30 to 4:30,
We'll
4 to
probably be
5.
getting the signage set up between 8:30, and we'll be on site until approximately 4:30. Then we'll take our signs down.
Okay, I
Yeah.
mean, so everybody remind your friends
Yep.
Yes, please.
to
Yep.
drive through the intersection and bring your,
Well, I know back in the years past when we used to do the first weekend, I because the ladies used to have their pie sale going on.
oh yeah.
I'd always tell people stop and get a pie. Help the
good
ladies
idea.
out.
Well, please also tell George that, we're thinking
Yeah.
of him.
Absolutely.
We appreciate his coming and reminding people
He's
about
an
this.
awesome man, I tell you.
Yeah.
There's a Discover Guilford Facebook page.
I was just trying to read it.
I know, you can't
Thank
read my handwriting.
No, that's okay. Thank
So
you.
I just want to say that because you should post it on Front Porch Forum in this
Yes.
Oh,
area,
yes.
and then
Yeah.
Discover Guilford
Awesome.
Cool.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Very
I'm in
good.
charge of the website along with many other
Yes.
things I do,
Okay.
but that's
Wow.
part of what I do.
I'm not technically.
Traditionally, the select board votes to approve.
Okay, so, we didn't have an action on
No,
here,
wasn't
that
on
was,
the
okay. So, Select Board, I'd like to move that we endorse, well, what would be the proper wording?
Approve the
Ruck-Up.
Ruck-Up schedule.
Approve the
Point
Ruck-Up
drop
schedule for this year.
I'll second.
Yes, for October.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll
Oh,
second.
Mike, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, well.
Thank you very much.
You're the best. And I have 2 more things, real
Okay.
quick. Just if anyone has a vet in their family or know anybody, this is the release of information. So if you send this to us, take a picture or email it to us, we can get right to work with helping them out. So
That's great, and
last
also
thing.
another resource that I just wanted
Yeah.
to share with you is the Wyndham County Emergency
Yeah.
Heat Fund,
Yeah.
because they're.
He knows all
Oh,
about that.
they do the heat. They are doing the heat again.
Yeah.
I was wondering if the state had funded them.
No, it's all just the
Private.
people, and also the Thompson Trust gave them a $20,000 challenge grant.
Wow.
So
Oh, good,
they'll
good.
match that,
Yeah.
but anyway, I'm
Yeah.
only saying
No,
it's
no,
an
that's
additional
awesome.
resource.
That's great. It's good to know because I know one of the veterans organizations that I've worked with for years, Vermont Veterans, up in Burlington, had to shut down because the legislature voted not to
Yeah.
give them, and they've been helping veterans since COVID.
So,
Well,
so we appreciate every
Yeah.
penny.
Every penny, that we make goes back out to the vets.
well, you're
So,
very welcome.
thank you. And one other, my other
Yeah.
legitimate question is, do I need like a piece of paper that you guys say that you approved or anything? Okay. we're good.
I have a letter that I usually send.
That'd be
Okay.
awesome. You have my email, I think. I don't know
Yeah,
who
I do have
emailed.
your email.
Yes, I think it was you. Yeah, that'd be
Alright,
awesome.
sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Thanks so much.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
gotta go back and help
Thank you
run
very
AA, so I'm actually gonna head out if that's okay with you.
Okay,
Thank you.
great.
Yeah.
Terrific. Okay, so our next update is from SeVEDS BDCC, and welcome.
My colleague Laura is on Zoom. Hi, Laura. Maybe she wants to kick us off.
Laura.
She's attending multiple meetings tonight. She's a warrior of meetings.
Unmuted.
Hi, everyone.
I knew you weren't Laura.
Hi.
I'm not Laura.
Hi, everyone. I'm trying to also attend the NDCAP meeting tonight, but it was really important. There's an aspect of our meeting tonight that I really wanted to stress encouragement for. And so then we'll hand it off to, the ever capable Meg. But just to highlight why we are here, this is our annual visit to select boards, updating them on the programs and progress we've been making throughout the year. It is also our annual funding request. So there are two things that we hope to talk with you about tonight. First is that briefly, because we think we know where we are with that. And Meg can give a bunch of updates on our programs and touches to Guilford businesses, or some highlights on that. And the second is about a community engagement survey. So that we have sent specifically to select board members, and that we would love to encourage each of you to fill out. We've already gotten one. We got one today from one Guilford member, which was fantastic, and we've started working on some requests there. We also would love to just have a conversation with you tonight. We've been asking an open-ended question of select boards to the extent that they can help us understand what are the biggest challenge or opportunity that you're facing right now. And the reason that we are asking that is we, as a regional development organization, BDCC is the regional development entity for Windham County. We are working with our towns, working with the state, working federally, working with data. We've just completed the third SeVEDS for this region, Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, which we can talk about. We're using all of those things to build programs to hopefully be responsive to our businesses, to our towns, to our residents in terms of how we're thinking about the economy and vitality within our regions. And so this community survey is a check back, or it's not a community survey, it's a select board survey. It's a check back. So how are you receiving these programs? Do we have the correct, are we thinking about the correct issues? Are there other opportunities that you're seeing? Because we want to make sure that we are taking that into consideration as we are figuring out where to put our assets. So I'll come back to that, or Meg will actually probably walk you through that. But I will come back to the first, which is this is our annual meeting to check in with you about programs that we're offering. This is our funding appeal. We ask all communities in the Windham region to support the regional efforts of SeVEDS and BDCC. SeVEDS is a regional board that helps develop our SeDS and our strategies, and BDCC then takes that and implements programs throughout the region. We ask, as I said, at $3 a head. We ask boards to include us as either in the budget or as a separately warned article so that we are able to come and talk with your citizens at town meeting. We're not afraid to take a no or questions in person. I know that we've made that request, and you all have said that it will be necessary to petition. So I think we can move on past that. I will note that we still offer programs to Guilford, and we'll continue to do so. I don't think we've ever said no, and we would not do so. And Meg can talk a bit more about those programs. So I think, Meg, with that, is there anything else that I should cover?
I think that's good. I have copies of the select board survey if anyone needs them printed. I have the SeVEDS if anyone would like a copy of that. So I come armed with.
Yeah, I'll take a
Thanks.
survey for sure.
Yeah. So, and there's a tiny URL link there, so if you want to do it online,
Yeah, I'll
you
do it
can
online.
do that.
That'd be
But
great,
we made
thanks.
it a tiny URL because it's a really ugly link otherwise. So you could just type in exactly that.
And Meg, I'll just jump in to say I'm going to hop back into the handicap meeting. And thanks so much, everybody, for having us tonight. And we look forward to your questions and your responses.
Thanks.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Yeah, if anyone
Thanks,
else
Laura.
wants one. Yeah, so for this year, we really want it to be like hearing from towns. So, but I can just run through some of the programs that we do, of course. So BDCC does several things regionally. We do business support programs. We actually have 17 Guilford businesses in our pipeline, which is great. That's a lot of activity. That makes us
Are
happy.
they listed somewhere?
So we don't disclose that because people are in different stages. So usually we won't like name names because if people are seeking funding or things like that, there's confidentiality. But we run a report, and so that's just the number I got from my business team of how many people are in our pipeline. So in the pipeline could mean that they're looking for a loan, that they're attending Launchpad. It could mean that they're exploring cooperative ownership options, succession planning, things like that. We help businesses at all stages. So from startup to planning for the retirement. So anyway, that's our business team ran the numbers.
Does that mean that they're a Guilford business, or they live in Guilford and have a Brattleboro business, or is it a combination?
So I just asked her to run a report of Guilford-based businesses. So I can fine grain that for you and get back to you.
Okay.
The number she gave me was 17.
Okay.
So, but I can, it might be a combination of ownership or location. So I'd have to run the list, but I will make a note to make my note for Guilford here, to drill into that more.
Breakdown of the 17 of what you're doing for the 17?
I can, without naming names, I can. So I didn't run the whole report. I
Right.
just got the number from
Right.
the spreadsheet. So I'm happy to run that number for you, and I can email that back to Erica to share
Right,
with you
Yeah,
all.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think just to give a
Yeah.
general, I
A
started.
snapshot.
I started filling in the survey, and I realized that the reports that we've had to Guilford weren't really Guilford-centric, and our voters, especially at town meeting, really want to know what have you done with us and for us, and I think that information has been, it wasn't convincing enough, even though I knew from reading the material that certain Guilford businesses had truly benefited,
Right.
but there was just a kind of communication shortfall that I would like to avoid in everybody's interest.
Absolutely. So I can get that information.
Yeah.
I would just have to go back to the office and drill it down a little more and give you
Good.
more of a snapshot. Like again, without naming names, we can still say X number, or Guilford residents but also one of the things that we always stress is that our impact truly is regional, because,
Yes.
a rising tide and all that, but also people, may live in Guilford and work somewhere else. They may live somewhere else and work in Guilford. So our approach has always been sort of more collaborative and regional, just to that's how our programs really work. But just to sort of other work that we do, not just business development, we do community work. So I can speak certainly to the community development because that's what I do. And so I try and help build capacity for local projects and also in municipalities. So we've been starting a municipal leaders network where we gather select board members, planning commission members, town staff. So we just had the first one. It was in August. I know Erica wanted to come, couldn't come, but we have another one planned for December. TBD, first week in December, but I will get the word out to talk about the role of the municipality in economic development, which is a great topic of like, what are the things, what are your lanes, how do you use leverage resources that are available? So we've been doing that work, and the feedback has been great on bringing municipal leaders together to talk to each other, because it's something you all know what's happening in Guilford, and sometimes it's just so great to connect with another town that may have done something similar or have a similar problem and just see what they did. So that's some of the work I do. I also am running a program called Get On Board that is supporting new local leaders, and that's been great. We had our first meeting in Williamsville last Saturday, so we have a great group. Always invite people to that, and we'll continue to do that. I mean, it's also a lot of fun, but it's just a way to connect with everyone needs new leadership, so we do that. We work in workforce development, so that's right now we have classes that are helping people build their digital literacy, so people can come to that and just get up their digital literacy skills, which can help open career pathways. So that's great. We work in high schools, local high schools, directly with programming to help students connect to career possibilities. So we will work with their teachers and then work with the students directly. So we do that work. So let's see, workforce, that's our workforce development. So that we do business development, workforce development, and community development. So we kind of have expanded beyond just that really narrow like business support to understand that helping communities develop positive directions and workforce and help supporting housing as we can with the municipal level. We stay in our lane of economic and community development, but we're here to help communities move projects forward and really working on workforce, community, and business development. So really in a rural community, it's all tied together, and it is all regional because there's a lot of porousness between communities. So I guess I would throw it back to you to say, I'm interested, you can either just fill out the survey or if there's things you've been working on. I hear you working a lot on that. I'm hearing transportation, I'm hearing working on road traffic. Yeah. So I've heard that. Any other?
Workforce development. Could you talk about what you are doing with our high school here? Brattleboro Union High School and the Career Center. Specifically, what are you doing with them?
Well, here I can give you, this is it's not my exact program, but this is the sort of program statement. I can, if anyone else wants one of these too. So P3 does, for example, we do things called, and I get to come out and help with these, which is always like the most fun. We always all want to come out, but they do things with like the sophomore summit where we show up at the Career Center and all the sophomores come throughout the day and kind of do some hands-on exposure to different career stuff. And that's just really great. So it's often that first time that kids have connected with the idea of not just like going to college or more education, but a career. So that's something that happens at the Career Center. And then also at the Career Center, we have Christy Beatty works directly with their staff. I've gone over and done like mock interviews with students in the Career Center. They do things, resume writing, and things like that. So that touches specifically the Wyndham Career Center. It's always really fun to do like mock interviews with the kids and really help them develop their sense of selling themselves and their skills. But then also all the BUHS sophomores come through things like the Sophomore Summit. And then there's a Fearless Future Fair, which happens towards the end of the year, which is for every grade level. So they really, freshmen, and even some of the BAMS students, I think, came through. So it's really just to see the kids just come through and just, it's like getting that spark, sort of a connection of that there's a lot of possibilities for a career, that helping kids find their passion, find a direction, connect with that.
One of the things we're working, as a town, we have a hard time hiring people on the road crew, finding qualified people.
Sure.
Are you doing anything in terms of helping kids, let's say at the Career Center, or helping the Career Center develop a program that would meet that particular need of this community and many communities?
Yeah, I certainly know, so I don't know specifically, but I know we have done a lot of work with CDL, because it's actually, and it's hard. There's not a lot of, like, you have to go to Springfield or you have to go to Bennington. So I think we work and with partners with Department of Labor and things like that to try and make those accessible. We were working with getting materials translated for our refugee population to be able to access that and get those, really lucrative positions, with CDLs, and I know it's a shortage. So I don't know specifically through the Career Center. I know it's a focus. Christy could probably speak to that more, and I can put that to her directly. But we definitely hear that
Well, it's
from a
a
lot of
need
towns.
throughout the state.
Throughout the
So,
state,
and
the region,
That's
yes.
something you could really benefit
Sure.
all of us if you were helping develop programs.
Yeah, no, I
along those
know
lines.
Christy is working. I know we do work with a lot of different programs so she could speak more specifically in the workforce development. But I know that I hear a lot of talk about CDL courses and facilitating people getting to those because, right, it's a need. Harder than you think.
And encouraging,
Yeah.
let's say, town road commissioners
Yes.
to go to some of those career training opportunities and talk about, these are
Their work.
jobs that,
It's a great suggestion.
I'm looking at Jimmy.
oh yeah, Jimmy, this is for
Great
you.
job, Jimmy. No, that's a great, I will actually encourage Christy Beatty, our Pipelines and Pathways coordinator, to reach out to towns because that's actually a great idea to have someone come who works for a road crew because those are really good positions and it's a good way to stay in your community and serve your
It
community. And so, yeah, no, that's a great idea. I will, if she hasn't thought of it already, I will take it directly to her and say, get yourself a good road commissioner. Who doesn't want to drive a grader?
Sheila, did you?
I also think that at the town meeting, I know you're required to keep confidential the
Sure.
number of the students and the firms that work, that you do work with. But perhaps there's somebody who would be willing from Guilford who's excited about the work
Yeah.
that you've been doing with them, and either a student
Yeah.
or a business owner or a resident who would be willing to stand up and say, this is all sort of amorphous, but for me specifically, here's what it did.
Yeah, that's a great.
I don't think we've ever heard from anybody who's been directly impacted or benefited from the
Yeah.
program. And I know that's been one of the hesitations for funding.
Thank you. No, that's a great tip. I'm sure we can find
Somebody,
who could just stand up who's a local resident. And that's also really nice too, because we always have to ask permission.
But also a breakdown of the 17 of specifically, okay,
Where
you
they're
can't use names, but at least what specifically
Sure.
are you doing
Yeah.
with each of those 17?
Absolutely. And we can definitely do
That's
that.
the kind of thing that would have meaning.
Yeah, no, we can definitely do that. That is as simple as, I can even look at that report and decode it without specific names as to what kind of help they're receiving. So we will definitely do that and I can follow up with that and we'll put that in a report and we will endeavor to petition. And just anything else besides transportation? Yes, what do you have?
That one of the things that I know about BDCC is that treasured Guilfordite John Christensen was one of the founders of that, along with some other business people, and it was an essential part of getting the book press to move to this area, which was huge. And I think that in building connections with Guilford, just framing, showing that you know about us and you want us to know about you, it would be, I think, a valuable thing for you to bring up Guilford's involvement in the founding of that organization and how reliable, how important that was for all of the families in this community.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's terrific. I appreciate that.
That was one of my challenges in filling out the survey, was that things felt very abstract to me, even finding out what our needs were. Was it in healthcare? Was it in economic development?
All of the above.
All of the above.
Well,
It was just hard to offer something that was honest and had enough specificity that it could be more cogent than just sort of bulk data.
Sure.
You know,
Absolutely. No, that's great. And we will take that and work with that and appreciate that feedback.
yeah. And look at, you know, it's very interesting that some of the young people who have been able to stay in Guilford are people whose families were in the trades, and it got to be a second generation business, and those things, I think reaching out to some of those people
Mm-hmm.
for young people who might want to be involved in the trades
Mm-hmm.
that everybody needs. You know, electricians, plumbers, excavators, and so forth. Just really honoring the people who are here,
Yeah.
who do that work, and letting them be speaking about what it's like, you know, just to do it.
Right.
You know, bring it down to earth, I guess, is what I need and what I think Guilford families would want when they hear from you. Anybody else have any thoughts? Gary, you're a Guilford businesswoman. You got anything more than what we've already said?
Just that there's so many businesses that are still struggling after COVID.
Yeah.
And I rented from the cotton mill for almost 20 years, so I've worked with BDCC a little bit.
Good.
And yeah,
We're still there in the cotton mill.
Yes.
And it's, you know,
yeah, and I think that people need to know how hard it is to be a small business owner, and that, I mean, it's a political thing, but that the state of Vermont could do a lot more for small businesses.
for sure. Great. And we have a really great business team, has really expanded. So we have some really super down to earth people working in that team. So I think that we invite businesses to really check in with us again, because we have a really, just a great team. They've got a lot to offer. So great.
Okay, anybody else have any other questions, comments?
Does anybody want this? Speaking of abstract, this is very comprehensive economic development strategy that
Sure.
we'll hand you a copy. It's on our website as well. There
saw it.
there's a QR code on the front, so that will
Yeah, I
take you
have
to
it on the website.
Yeah, it's on the website. Yeah, we make some of these, but this is just sort of the Cliff Notes version, which is the good version to have. So, the rest of it is very long. So,
Okay, you can give me the Cliff Notes.
the Cliff Notes. Yeah, this is the Cliff Notes. It just has the high points. Yeah, that was one of the things we tried to do. Oh, whoops, that's me. Tried to do this year was to really make that the executive summary like really readable and very more appealing, because it is quite abstract. So, yeah, we get it.
Well, thank you for being so receptive, Meg. You know, we really want you to know what some of the issues have been for our town, so that you could come to us, you know, just more prepared for who we are.
Yeah, no, and I think that's great. We appreciate that feedback and your time, and it's really helpful. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Of course, always a pleasure.
Okay, and now we're over to you, Erica Elder.
Okay. Had a very busy 2 weeks.
And congratulations on your music tour.
Thank you. It was a tiny tour.
Tony.
Three shows and they're all really good. But back to this. In light of Alex's experience with her accident, I wanted to give an update about what's going on with the Algiers scoping study. We have moved forward with the consultant selection committee that the select board appointed a little while ago, was finally able to meet, and they, and I was included, we supplied our rankings, we talked about how we felt about each of the 6 consultants. We came out with the top one, and now that is submitted for approval to our VTrans project manager. when he approves the whole process, which I'm expecting any minute, that consultant will get an RFP, and when they submit when they give us a proposal, that will come to the select board for a vote. So that's the next thing that will happen for the select board. And then we'll have the consultant to do the scoping study, and then we can move forward. Ellie and I continue to attend Vermont Local Government Institute courses. The last one we did was last Friday. It was in 2 parts. The first part was about ethics and the ethics ordinance that the state passed last year and how to deal with that. And the second part was actually I'm switching them, but the other part was really interesting to me, and was talking about how to set long-term goals using the town plan, the town strategic plan, the select board goals, and like techniques to mesh those all together and make sure that your goals are in alignment. That was really cool. So we're enjoying and learning a lot from these courses. I continue to get 2-week updates from GMP as they are on River Road doing their work, and it's on the front page of our website. So 2 weeks in advance, you should more or less know where they're going to be. So this is a kind of a serious issue that we're going to, I think, probably continue to think about going forward. But last week, I got a visit from the state's sole salvage yard person at the Agency of Natural Resources. And he had come to Guilford responding to complaints about new activity at a previously permitted, but I don't know the status now, of a salvage yard on Route 5. I think you're all familiar with what I'm talking about. There are a number of issues that he saw that could use swift remedy. There has been a complaint since he was here that they're doing more activity than they had been before. So this is a potential thing for the health officer to look at. There's a potential mobile home site without permits, like a mobile home park without permits. There's an issue that this Agency of Natural Resources person was concerned about was burning of rubbish there. So this is an ongoing thing, and I got from him today the contact of a couple of different people at the state level who are looking into this in various ways. So I'm going to call each of those 3 people to find out what is going on. And basically, because Guilford has no zoning, there's not a lot we can do, but there is some things that we can do as a town. So.
And would those be
TBD.
based on health violations or,
Potentially,
feeling us not having zoning?
Yeah, a health violation
Health
could be
Well, if
an
somebody's operating,
actionable thing.
if somebody's operating as a salvage yard, they're supposed to get a permit every
Yes.
year, which is,
Yes,
I mean,
and the
otherwise
select
we have
board
no
is,
enforcement.
that's under the control of the
capacity,
select board.
yeah.
It's called a location plan or something like
Well, so this
So-
is a developing
that.
story.
Definitely is, yeah.
Okay.
And I just wanted to acknowledge the neighbors who are concerned about this and let them know we're doing what we can, and so is the state. The state is working on it. But there's a lot of this going on in the state, and there's not a lot of people to be working on it, so.
Mhm. Well, thank you, Erica.
Yeah, let's see. I have good news. The Guilford Guide
Oh,
has
that's right.
been digitally completed. The print versions are not out yet. The digital version will be on the town website for people to look at, peruse. If you find a mistake or something to update, that can be added or changed before the print version
Actually, the goal is to have it online first so that people have a chance to review it, comment, correct, make additions, and then we'll print a hard copy
Yeah.
to distribute to everybody in town.
Yeah.
But we really wanted people to do to look at the online version. So it's not up yet. It will be.
And
I
is
think
there
it's not
gonna
bad,
be,
but I have the digital copy. So,
Great.
yeah.
and is there gonna be a ta-da moment when it shows up, the URL?
From Perch Forum.
Animation?
Yeah,
Yes, I can
we've got a
do
whole
that.
spreadsheet for that,
Oh,
of who's
you
gonna
do?
do what.
Okay.
Oh, no, I understand about that, I just,
Okay.
yes.
So I don't have to do all of that.
Yes, and just a footnote about that was that when we first started developing the Guilford Guide, I reached out to people in the other communities that had already done it. And we are the first community to have an online version of it, and the other people felt as if it would be so wonderful to have an online copy of their very own guides, and were intimidated by the process. So I hope that will be an inspiration to them as their prototypes
Yeah.
were so helpful to us.
Okay, I have a couple more things. I just learned today from our town clerk that we're going to need to update our social service appropriation policy because we've been starting to get calls from folks on that, and the state has changed something to do with that was needing to be in 40 days before town meeting, and the state changed that to 47 days. So I'll prepare an update to our social services policy for the next meeting.
So that means that they need to have those,
It's a week before,
yeah,
which
and
for us is a week plus a few days,
yes. Thank you.
versus based on the state date. Okay, a couple more things. Our next select board meeting is not October 13th because that is Indigenous Peoples' Day, but it will be the next Wednesday after that, October 15th. That is also the day taxes are due in Guilford. And Conservation Commission representatives Timmy the Otter and Claude the Bobcat are stationed in the town office to greet the visitors that will be coming to pay the taxes.
That will be a great comfort, I'm sure.
Oh my god.
They're striking and they're nice.
But they're not
They're
on
well
strike.
behaved. No, they're not on strike. And so Ellie has something to tack on to this update.
Can I just ask one question about what you said earlier?
Yeah.
You said the GMP stuff is on the front homepage of the website. I don't see it.
Uh-oh, maybe we have too many. Let's see.
So if people were gonna go to the website and look for it, I don't see it on
Oh, yeah, there's too many
the announcements.
announcements.
So people should go to Guilford Info announcements. So I did that. I don't see it there either. Oh, GMP under 9:15 to 9:26. Okay,
Yeah.
wait, okay.
Yeah. So
You really gotta look for that.
Well, I will try to update that on the homepage. Thank you, Sheila.
Okay, was there anything?
Yes, my compatriot Ellie has something to inform the select board about.
Right, which doesn't need a decision this evening, but it would be very helpful to have a decision before October 15th, because taxes are due, and I stop the tax year, and then penalties start to accrue. Lisa Barrett came to me and talked to me about how the state grand list program, I believe that's a correct description, VT-PI, was updated recently. I think it was last month it was updated. And when it was updated, it had rounded numbers that were slightly different than the NEMRIC Grand List program. So when we get state downloads every week, which are downloaded into our tax program. When that download occurred, then some credits for some folks and some debits for other folks, very small, appeared on, it's to have a revised bill sent out. So we're talking in some cases a couple of cents. The biggest one was $1.02. And Lisa and I had a conversation about this, and out of the list of 106 adjustments that were sent, the overall adjustment when you weigh the negative, the credits and the debits, was $7.63. So I researched looking into how there's a way in NEMRIC to adjust small amounts, to get rid of these small additions to the principal and eliminate small credits. Everything I looked at said, but you must have select board approval to do that. And we looked at how much it would actually cost to send out these 106 revised bills, and it's over $80 worth of just postage. But if those small amounts, if we sent out the bills and the small amounts didn't get paid, 73 cents, nobody's gonna write a check for 73 cents, you're just gonna let it sit. Then there's additional postage for me to send out a delinquent tax bill for, less than $1 until it gets paid. So anyway, I've created some motions that, to consider and I can limit the amount, so it would be to eliminate small property tax amounts up to $1.50. I just chose that just in case the next one is a little bit higher, but any adjustment that was made that's under $1.50 or any credit that's under $1.50, so that they can be reversed.
And
something to think about.
So we need
Can we do
to
it?
have a
Let's just do it,
Yeah, let's
a
just
motion
do it.
Yes.
about it. Can we have,
Well, it was not on the agenda at all.
Right.
Oh,
So
Okay.
I don't think you can do
Nope,
it
can't
this
do it.
evening.
Yep.
Right.
But, so that would mean in order to get it done before taxes are due, then we have to have a special meeting.
well, could we have, okay,
Other business?
so we would have to warn the
Could we raise it
meeting.
in other
and-
business?
Oh, other business.
Because it's coming up, it's time sensitive.
It is definitely time sensitive.
So could we just do that in other business tonight?
brilliant.
Yes,
Yes, very good.
Yes.
yes.
That's why Sheila's Sheila, I like that.
That's why you're Sheila.
Yeah.
I will say that I have both motions already written.
Yeah, and I have that here.
Slide them over here.
All right.
Can we vote on other business before other business time?
Let's just keep it on the.
Okay, so.
Yeah, we're not changing the,
We're
we're not changing the order of the agenda, we're just.
Okay, we have them right here, and Ellie, thank you.
Thanks, Ellen.
Yes, thank you, Ellie.
Thank you for that work
It just
around.
makes sense to
Yeah.
Absolutely.
not worry about
we all.
And thank you, Sheila.
$7 worth.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, other business. We'll have to remember that, other business.
We will.
Business. Well, Erica, thank you for working so variously and so diligently for us. And Ellie, you as well. It's just, yeah, we're lucky. Okay, so we don't have to accept the town administrator's report, but we can say hurrah.
Jimmy a minute.
Okay, so now Jimmy, he's up, and we do have an action. Okay, Jimmy, bring it
Okay.
on.
All right. I would like to start with saying how happy we are with the paving. A lot of people, much needed. The worst section in town, and it kind of completes the cycle of the 6. And so that there was a lot of cracks and it was coming apart. So it was perfect timing. We didn't know we were going to get that grant. They came in at the last. So that's great. And they did Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I found out that the stone line ditching would be the culvert changing on that back of Stage Road, which is part of a state grant that's time sensitive. All has to be done by September 30th, and MT3 had an opening today, so we quickly took the e-sign and put it up there. And I made a mistake because I forgot to put Stage Road. I put the date in the backside and left out Stage Road, and I had several people call me in to task on that, including Erica. I don't know where backside is. It's on Stage. So that's my fault. I'll own that one.
Oh, no.
I don't want to be a downer, but we did have free time last week, and we put plow frames on. Now, hopefully, it's early, but we don't touch plows. Okay, it's just the frames. There's no harm done. GMP, I do know, because I have a guy that we work with in the field, that not the managers, that the ditching machine is getting hauled out today. So they are done with that. The culvert and gravel work, which they said would be closely behind the ditching machine, is not. But the ditching went a lot faster than what they thought. So they are currently working the culverts coming down. They're by Addison's. There are 35 18-inch culverts and 4 2-footers to do, because I inventoried 39 culverts that are going to get cut and replaced. So that takes a bit. River Road is rough. I suggested that they run their grader. Well, I said I would be willing to run our grader down and back just to take like half of the roughness out. And I met with Buck Adams, who I had never met. I've known him for years by name. He's in charge of all the dirt work. Said it wouldn't be necessary, that he would do it. He was going to ride the road. So I don't know. So I'll be ongoing checking the work. Every culvert needs to be approved by me, and all road sections, and so we'll stay on top of that. But so they did make excellent progress with the machine, surprisingly to me. There's a lot of ledge, and they hit spots where they didn't move the length of this table in an hour, but River Road was pretty good to them. So just so people know. Currently, we're still doing some culvert work. We've started leaf blowing. It's obnoxious right now. There's a lot of dust, but there's 10 million pounds of leaves that we need to keep out of the ditch, and you really can't just wait. Hopefully some rain comes. The rain has to come. This is just it's just getting ridiculous with the lack of rain. And the same thing, we really can't grade. Some of the roads are a little rough, but need to bear with that. They're not horrible. And the last thing I have tonight is the sign on Heinsberg Road, the electronic sign, is not currently working. It's not getting enough solar power. We moved it once already because the visibility wasn't good. It was a work in progress. So I would ask that maybe you guys suggest we would either move it down further towards the intersection of Carpenter Hill and Heinsberg, or move it back to the intersection of Hale and Heinsberg so that it can get sunlight. And either of those sections are kind of straight. It needs, the first place we chose had sunlight, but you were on top of it. You were, before you could see it. You really need a stretch. So we should maybe if anybody has any idea which they would prefer, or
You should do it.
or I will.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
Your
consensus.
decision.
Okay, fair enough. And so, that's about what I have tonight.
You have a guardrail estimate also.
I do. Thank you.
And we want to vote on that.
Okay. So Tyler Hill is probably one of the most dented, pounded sections of band rail anywhere. I would challenge somebody to come up with a more hit band rail than that section. And it's probably, that stuff sits on the side of the road. You don't really pay attention to it. That section is old, so I took it upon trying to at least get a quote and an estimate. And I was surprised. They're willing to, of course, we buy secondhand band rail because the Freds, they change stuff out. That's still good, which is fine with us. So it's used band rail, but I literally counted every section and every post. They're willing to use the ones that they can and reuse the posts that they can. I will tell you that in this section there are some wooden ones which are not legal anymore. And so that shows the age of that.
Right.
And so I thought this estimate, I was surprised at what they have to do, 600 feet almost, to pull it all up, reuse what they can, and replace what they can't.
Before winter?
They said October. Of course, it's been a couple of, by the time we got our stuff done and they got their stuff done, it's been a couple of select board meetings, so we, kind of lost a month. If they didn't get to it, I think they can. And typically they do all the big work in the summer, so you can't get them anyway. So typically if we get band rail work, which there's only been one small piece since I've been here in 8 years, so some of it is due. Like I said, you don't really pay attention to it, but sometimes it needs updating, and this one does. So I think October.
Okay, so are we ready to have a motion about this?
Are you proposing a single vendor vote? Is that?
Yes.
I thought that was.
Well, this is an incidental or minor purchase, but it's, because Jimmy is a purchasing agent, he may make major purchases with value between $2,500 and $15,000 with prior approval of the select board, limited to the amount of budget authorized by the town, which this is.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask that question. And then the other question I had is where is the funding coming?
There's a guardrail.
There's actually a line item in my budget
In your budget
that
for
we don't-
guardrails?
that we don't
Yeah.
typically use.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to be clear because usually we say how we're funding expenses like that. So.
And
You sure?
so what would be the best way to couch this motion?
Authorize Jimmy to
Accept the,
this bid,
Quote.
this quote, yep.
okay, I move that we authorize Jimmy to accept the quote from Lafayette on the guardrails for Tyler Hill Road.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Great. Okay, we have approved that. And let's see, I had a compliment sort of from someone in Halifax about the paved roads in Guilford. He said that the paved roads in Guilford before they're resurfaced look better than the paved roads in Halifax after.
Sorry about that.
Well, I just said I was proud of our roads, and that was that.
I had somebody reach out wanting to know why we're paving the roads, because they don't think they need it, and I think it's just a cost thing. They just think it's a big expense, and
Yeah.
so I responded, preventative maintenance saves money long-term. Cracks and breakdown of roads may warrant a rip out and replace, not just an overlay, which would be double the cost at that level, huge and maybe not mostly covered by grants because we didn't stay on schedule, which is, I think, every 7 to 15 years. Towns work on an annual rotating paving schedule. Towns use state, federal grant money tied to specific years. It's a 70%, I think, match, and if we don't use it, we lose it. Paving roads is like changing oil in your car. It's road maintenance.
Well,
Yeah.
Tara, the paving
Well said.
maven. Hurrah.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
right up my alley.
that's right. Okay, Jimmy,
I didn't get a
anytime you
response
need
after
her.
that.
Yes.
There she is.
Yep.
Well,
Thanks, Jim.
that's
your
just great.
resources.
Thank you so much.
We're good?
Thank you.
Yeah, we're
Thanks, Jim.
good.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Okay, so we have no old business. How about that? And so we'll.
I actually, under old business, I also had a, maybe this could also be under,
Other business?
correspondence.
Okay,
But let's just do it in old business real quick. I had someone reach out about the Heinsberg Road, Governor Hunt Road triangle that I had mentioned, of wanting to make it one way. And, it was Nan lined and they use that road all the time and really don't want us to do anything. So I think like the best thing for me to do is maybe just meet with her and just like go over like, and talk about why that wouldn't work for them. Because I know a lot of other people are really adamant about doing something about it. So,
okay, well, you're a great listener and you're a great persuader. Okay, so moving on to new business, we have the traffic ordinance update and a potential action here. So, let's get into it. Is this, Erica, something that you are going to lead the discussion on, or?
Well, I did a little bit of scrambling about. As a result of the last select board meeting, I got a traffic study put in place by Wyndham Regional, and I guess it was only up for about a week because it's gone now. I haven't gotten the report yet, although I can do the report, the same report, basically from the radar sign. And you guys have that in your packet, and you can see the 85th percentile is just over 40. It's like 43 miles an hour is the typical speed, the typical driver is
Did people
going.
hit our area?
No, right on
Guilford Center.
Cemetery.
right on Guilford Center Road.
Which means everybody's going 20 miles over the speed limit or 18 miles over the speed limit.
well, it's 45 there.
No,
No,
it's
it's-
35.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's
But it's
35/25 now.
25, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
45 right
essentially
on the
that's
other
it.
side though?
No,
No,
Okay.
35
Okay,
to 25.
it's,
Right.
I looked at it tonight on my way
Okay.
in.
Okay.
yeah.
It doesn't, is it not turned to 45?
It's 35 to 25, and then, I mean, heading south, you know, I'm heading down to
Yeah,
the country
yeah.
store, and then once you get through, it goes back up to 45.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
On the
coming this
backside.
way, it's 45 to 25.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, no.
observing that
Yeah.
43, 83% or something like that is pretty abysmal behavior on the part of our community.
Yeah, because, yeah.
Where it said like H22 or H3,
Those
Is
are
that really
high
like-
speeds.
is that a person actually doing it? Like one of them was
Yeah.
80 to 100.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah,
like
people-
one person on last Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, the
That's-
100 miles per
Yes,
hour?
yes.
I mean-
On Guilford Center Road?
Yes, and
Yeah.
then there was multiple, like a handful of people that went from like 70 to 79. But there was one 80 to 100.
Well, the thing is, when I looked at the numbers, two questions came to mind. You know, there was absolutely, since the 25 mile an hour signs went up in August, early August, there wasn't one recording of a car going 25 miles an hour or less, not one. So that means all 12,825 vehicle trips, the people were speeding. And as Sheila pointed out, they're going 18 miles an hour over the speed limit. Minimum. So, you know, I had a couple of questions. I mean, because when you look at the numbers, about 6,000 trips, nearly 50% of the total are traveling 45 or 40 miles an hour or faster. So, I mean, we can't answer this tonight, but I was just wondering what strategies can we use to bring those speeds down closer to the intended 25? And what can we do to make the speed slower through this section of Guilford Center? Because you never saw one, you know, drivers were already traveling close to 40 to 45 miles an hour when the speed limit was 35. So they were all speeding even before the speed limit was dropped to 25. I can, you know, and I think coming back up, yeah, I have no idea what's into the psyche, but if you're going 45 and it drops to 25, then you're asking the driver to cut his speed in half, which is, you know, but it's the, you know, it was just the numbers that you pulled were so impressive. You know, I'm like, there is not one person going 25 miles an hour.
It's
There's some of these people that, I see
I couldn't find it.
20 to 29,
How many?
so the 20 to 29 mile an hour speed limit.
Yeah. Was there a lot? I
Yeah.
couldn't find it. Oh, I couldn't find
Yeah.
it.
So if you
Okay.
look,
I'm
see,
looking right at it.
the
Let's see.
top is
Oh, I
10 to
missed that.
19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59.
Oh, I see. I just missed
60,
that column.
and then
Yeah.
70 to
So that would
79.
be, so
And
not
then-
12,000. It would be whatever that is.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm retracting my statement, because I think I misread it. There's not even a 100-mile column, right?
Right, no, that,
Okay, it was
I ran the report and the highest is like 72.
Okay.
And
So
so
70,
I
79.
got rid of the report.
Sorry to
over
startle
that.
everyone.
So that's about 157-ish people. It was 29.
But still.
Still, it's way down.
Well, I wonder,
Where do you
10% goes down, goes to approximately the
And
right
this
speed
is
limit.
A
Yes.
relatively new
Yeah.
development, and I really like this.
Yeah, me too.
This document, there are things that we could do, not immediately, but, you know, there's a lot of very low-cost
Yeah,
design elements
I
that we
think so
could
too.
add
Well, I
to
thought,
a road to make it clear that there's a delineation between where you're going fast and where you're in the village.
Perfect. Yeah, I think so too. I was kind of surprised. So maybe let's call it 160 people out of nearly 400 passes a day on that radar tracking sign. And the other thing too is, I started wondering, like Addison County did this, you know, and you know, because sometimes V-Trans wants like this whole scope of the full menu, but you don't need it. Addison County did it, and they had radar sign data with some crash history and a little bit of context, and that was perfect. It was V-Trans will allow alternative methodologies rather than having to go through a full study. So I think with the pneumatic traffic tubes and the radar, and then we just do a crash history through V-Trans, you know, I don't even know
We
if
got
we
the
need
study?
that. We got it.
We have a study from
Yeah.
before, yeah.
So
Yeah.
got those numbers?
After hearing about the recent accidents and somebody from the community getting into an accident and recognizing that people are rolling through that stop sign, I think it would be great to have a speed bump in that stop sign, right before the stop
I
sign.
can just hear Danny.
I mean, you have to slow down. You have to. It slows you down and then you stop. Because even if you put a stop bar in that's painted on the ground, people don't see that.
Yeah, in
It's like
front
a
of Living,
right angle.
But that's,
in front of Living Memorial Park, they use speed bumps,
Yeah.
and they work.
I think
Yeah,
They make
absolutely.
you-
Ellie wants to offer something. Go ahead, Ellie.
So when I was in Kenya, there was these great long strips of road that went, I mean, you could just see forever. And people would go very fast. But there were sections of road where people had to cross. And they put these speed bumps in the road. And if you went over them fast, it would destroy your car. Seriously. So, and they, you know, had signs up that they were there, and everybody slowed down and stopped to go over these speed bumps, and stopped for traffic as well. But, you know, they were significant speed bumps. I think speed bumps, as you were saying at Memorial Park, they also did work.
They work.
but you're
They do
talking
work,
about speed
yeah.
bumps at Guilford Center and Route 5, right?
Yeah, right in
But
front of
we're
Richmond's.
talking about right now Guilford Center Road in the village, in Guilford Center. village, because that's where,
The
that's.
25
We're
mile
talking,
an
yeah,
hour thing.
we're
25
talking
mile
the
an hour.
25 mile an hour issue, and the other one is
That's where the study is.
Yeah.
still like laboriously annoying. We're getting there.
But Megan has offered us a kind of small Band-Aid for that. Because V-Trans controls that intersection, which is very interesting to me, but the town controls Guilford Center. Yeah, so that's a kind of slightly different thing.
It is I'm amazed that they offered that, because we've been saying for years, what are you waiting for? Somebody to get killed before they take some action or they approve our actions? And so finally they're coming through with something, which I think we should actually act on, but that's not on the agenda tonight, right?
Well, what? No.
The
The
Guilford Center Route 5 intersection.
I mean, we're talking about the traffic ordinance, so, I don't know. I can, so here, let me read this communication that I just got today from Megan. V-Trans controls the intersection, so we are responsible for the stop sign, and the town cannot add flashing lights to it. If the town wanted, we could add red retro-reflective post strips to the front side of the posts under the stop sign for added conspicuity. However, the town is responsible for adding the white stop bar at the intersection that appears to be missing since 2021. The town could also purchase and install stop ahead signs and add the associated stop ahead stencils to Guilford Center Road. So
Wonder if we
they're
could,
offering us some reflective things and some suggestions
So
about
that's in the
painting.
interim,
Yeah.
until the scoping study gets completed and we
Yeah.
are able to try some things out.
Yeah,
So,
I think that would be nice.
do you think we could also add, those little strips that you go over when you, not,
The ru-
you know, they go, they kind of rumble, they,
Great
you know,
things.
as you're coming up to a stop sign or something, it's like, I wonder if we could just add some of those to get people's attention. Although I do think that Mike made a good point that, when you pull up next to Richmond's, there is that telephone pole, and then there are gonna be cars on the outside of
parked
that
there.
fence area. So you do have to sort of ease forward to do one of these to see who's coming down.
Yeah.
Route
Well,
5.
But
we're
if you don't
going to
slow
be
down-
putting a lot of energy into that. And I feel as if, we ought to finish our conversation for now about, Guilford Center. And, I mean, perhaps, well, because I have a background in education, I thought it would be useful to get the school or the homeschool community and the library involved in creating some kid signage, just, and it could be temporary signage, just telling people we are here, please slow down. And I mean, we're talking about a transition time. And I think that having, a sort of creative workshop where kids share their ideas about, your family, how can you get your family members to slow down, like stick figures of children queuing over, whatever it would take, just as a consciousness raising period of time, at least between coming up to School Road and going as far as the 25 mile an hour sign.
So I think there's two issues here. One is the ordinance itself, which
Yeah.
we are almost at the point of being able to revise and approve before the 15th or on the 15th of October, if I'm understanding. And then there is the raising awareness about the ordinance and the speed limits. And I haven't read through this, the traffic safety toolbox thing yet, but I'm pretty sure that Erica could come up with some ideas about whatever we have in our toolbox
really
to
good.
raise awareness. And we can invite the school community, homeschooling and the school community to create, whatever, I think that's a
Yeah.
great, it could be one of the things in the toolbox, but I think the first thing is to get the results of the,
Yeah.
the studies, have a motion ready to revise the ordinance on the 15th, and then enlist, I mean, another thing we have to do is remind the school bus drivers and remind the businesses in this area that this is the speed limit, and that we've observed, you know, I mean, we did that in 2019, and we still have business people speeding through, loggers speeding through, you know, and probably school parents speeding through.
But at this point, this is also about us having the option to keep the 25-mile-an-hour signs up and not do anything.
By the 15th, yeah.
Right, okay.
Right.
And then, okay.
So I don't think we have any action to take on that tonight, right?
Not that,
Yeah.
do we have an action listed, do we have potential action that we need to take
Well,
tonight?
do we need to take the action to keep the signs up? Like,
Can we do that? I mean,
No, we have to wait. I mean, you're almost at the point where you can.
yes.
If we pass
Okay.
this revised ordinance on the 15th, then
Okay.
the signs can stay. If we
Okay.
don't pass the ordinance on the 15th, then we have
Okay.
to go through the expense of taking the signs down and then whatever, replacing them with the
Okay.
35, which is gonna be hugely
So
confusing.
Jimmy has those signs, just by
Yeah.
the way. But, so if we pass the ordinance on the 15th, then the steps to make it public
Yeah.
go into effect.
Yeah.
And then the public has a period of time where they
So we're
can
not
say,
passing an ordinance, we're revising it.
revise it.
We're not inviting public comment actually on this. If we're,
Except for at the
am I
select
understanding that correctly, Chip? Because
I
you've
don't
done,
know. I pulled it before the meeting. I was going to get into it because I wasn't really sure, but from the information I pulled earlier this week, that the state looks at whether you revise it or update it or rewrite it. To them, it's all the same thing. That, you know, it doesn't change the mechanics behind it.
regardless, there's
regardless.
nothing we can do tonight.
That's
And
what I
we're-
understood, but I could be dead wrong, but that's what I understood. And the other thing too is I was just looking, you know, at the ordinance itself, and I came up with 7, actually, I might have texted them to you this evening, like 7 little points that could be sort of just tweaked a little bit and tightened in the ordinance.
Yeah,
And,
Totally.
you know, like, I think they had school road at 30 and it's actually
it's
25.
yeah.
In the ordinance, you know, it's just like little tiny cleanup things and just make it a little bit more,
Yeah.
just tighter, which I don't mind doing. It's like just 7 quick points, you know, once we get this whole thing done.
I'm assuming
Or,
that,
you know,
I have a couple too that we've been
yeah,
talking
Yeah.
about. One of them is the Senator Hunt one way. And another one is something that Jimmy and I have talked about based on someone's, a resident's suggestion, changing the yield at Akeley and Bonnievale to a stop.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's good.
so
All right.
That's a good idea.
maybe we can, I don't know, Chip can work with you to do a
Great.
draft of the ordinance that we can look at in the next week
And
or
we
two.
can drive around town and make
Yeah.
sure we're
Yeah, we
right.
Road
yeah,
trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like somebody in
All
the
right, we're
passenger
gonna stop at the country store though for coffee and pastry.
But I still wanna make sure that if we revise and approve or amend and approve the ordinance, that we can still keep the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit signs up
Yes.
until we go through whatever the state requires in terms of publicating?
Public.
Can I go home now?
Yeah, I think that's important too.
So, just so that we're aware of these constraints. I have one other comment to make about Route 5 and Guilford Center Road, if I may.
I also have another comment.
My comment is that pretty soon Jimmy's gonna be line striping the edges of the roads. And if the person who does that can repaint the stop, you know, at the bottom of Guilford Center Road on Route 5, put in that stop line there, at least it's gonna be, whatever it is now, 7 cents a foot, you know, to do that painting, at least it was 2 years ago. So maybe it's 9 cents.
7 cents.
Say right, like stop ahead or
Stop!
something, you know?
I don't know, I
That's
mean,
what-
that's, you know, maybe, those are like a lot of other things we should consider, but I don't think, again, because we can't do it tonight, you know. even if Marcus or Megan is saying, well, we have these options.
See, that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say that after somebody came in and is taking video of people running that stop sign, that is a safety issue that's happening right now.
Yeah, I would like to take her up on this offer.
And people are rolling through the stop sign and they're running the stop sign, and it's a stop sign without a safety stop bar, which you need one.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make a motion.
Is that the,
Yeah, it says
painted
stop.
line?
Yep, it says stop. And I wanted to make a motion to approve a stop bar tonight, and then Vermont Roadworks would do it. Vermont Roadworks has done like all the painting for the town without charging.
I think that's a great idea.
It's a really good idea. And I just for Sheila's sake, so I'm looking at it now and it says public hearing requirement. The statute, this is for an ordinance, does not require a select board to hold a public hearing before adopting a traffic ordinance. The required steps are adoption by the board, posting, newspaper publication, and waiting out the 60-day petition period. Some towns choose to hold a hearing by policy or to encourage public input, but it's not mandated in state law.
thank you.
So I second Tara's motion.
So this kind of thing is part of a stop bar, correct?
Yeah.
So it's the line and then those
Yeah, that's what it
words.
should say. That'd be
Perfect.
great.
Can I see? I don't even.
And then
Did
it
they ever
would
think
be-
about
what
moving
Megan
that
said.
phone pole? Like,
Wow.
that really is hard to see.
Can I make
Yes,
quick
please, go right
suggestion?
ahead. I'm so sorry I didn't see your
No,
hand.
I just put it up.
Oh, okay.
Is there a possibility to say no parking between the horizontal telephone pole, that's by Richmond's where it has people park up to, and the road? So that, because people do park along there, and I feel that's even more dangerous than trying to look past the pole.
I think it
But
says-
that's
I
a
think it
state
says no
road.
parking on that, you know, where
It
it
says
says there's the
no
cross lines
parking.
there. There's a sign there that says no parking.
This
People-
looks
But that's
great.
also the state road,
Yeah.
where Guilford Center is the town,
So
so
the
we could,
telephone poles, the horizontal telephone pole is not state.
What horizontal?
That's the one that's,
You mean,
Oh, against
Richmond put
which-
it up.
Against which Richmond puts the
Yes.
cars that is
They
waiting to be
back up to
serviced.
them, but there's between that and the road where like the library sign goes about story hour or the,
Yeah.
Yeah, does Doug
Guilford
own that?
Care
He owns
goes-
that property?
There's
Oh.
no-
I mean, can there be something that's put on the roadside of the telephone pole that says no
I
parking?
thought it says no.
It does say no parking there.
It does?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
Yes,
think
it
I've ever
already
seen that.
does.
yeah, I
But
know a
people
lot
are
of people haven't
ignoring
seen
it.
it, yeah.
Said it.
I know sometimes larger trucks park there because
Right.
they can't pull into the store or something like that, but I'm sorry, I've never seen the no parking sign.
I haven't either.
I gotta be more observant, I guess.
Okay,
So
so
there's a motion.
is there,
There is a motion, Sheila did,
and we, now is there any discussion about this? About Tara's motion?
well, is it a conflict of interest? Even though I'm
Offering
offering
for
it
free.
for free, it's a volunteer service, and we have done this for the town the past few years.
I don't see
think so.
it
Same
as
thing
a
with you.
I don't
conflict
think so.
of
I
interest.
don't think so.
Besides which, I mean,
If any-
we can't check it out with the,
The ethics.
with the
It's free.
Ethics Commission because they're not discussing
Was it a conflict
individual
of interest
issues.
with the school?
No,
Plus
No, I
that's,
didn't think so, thank goodness.
yeah,
So it's
No, it's-
just great.
it's a
I think it's a good
volunteer-
idea.
It's a
That,
gift.
that video
Yes.
is disturbing.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
hesitant to show it, but
No, it's good, I liked it, but, and by the way, so I just did the math, so on the 2025, because I was wrong, but that's 4.8% of all vehicles recorded during that period were going 20 to 29, and there was close to 400 total, so that was like 19 cars a day, 20 to
I
29.
could do the export with percentages if
There
you
you go.
like.
Okay, so can we,
I'd like to see it somehow.
Vote to accept Tara's gift to the town?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, all in favor of accepting Tara's gift to the town indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, and our hearty thanks.
Yeah, big
I
thing.
abstain.
I can't wait to see it.
Me too.
She didn't ask for abstains.
Oh, I'm sorry, one
I
abstention. Okay.
Yes.
No, let the record indicate.
And I will get in touch with Megan and say yes to the reflective stuff that they have.
Yes,
Yes.
just, we want everything. I love
Right.
that
I like your
idea
idea.
of the stop ahead. And so do we have to buy the stop ahead sign, or they will provide the stop ahead sign? I mean, the painting we have covered, but
The
the,
painting, yes, the reflective stuff they will give us, I guess, because it's something that they want as opposed to whatever we might want, which is flashy. But yes, if we want extra signage, like other signs that say stop ahead, for instance, we would have to cover those.
it will be interesting to find out how much they cost. I'd be willing to take up a collection if we don't
Me
want
too.
to take it out of the town
Be right there
coffers.
with you. We'll hold
I
the
mean,
food
this
out.
is really,
Signs are not
They're not that
terribly
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah, okay.
$200,
okay.
is the average sign.
Okay, so we have approved the motion to accept the stop ahead painting. And do we have to say anything about all the reflective stuff in a motion, or can we just?
Say V-Trans is doing.
And you can read what Megan said. I don't know that requires a motion.
Probably not.
Okay,
I would just tell her, yes.
okay,
please.
preview that, please,
Please let
Sheila.
us know if you would like us to work on getting the reflective post strips added.
So it's
Yes, we
just
like
a-
shiny things.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Glitter.
we do.
Make some
I
glitter.
I like shiny blinking thing. I'm gonna go put my own strip up there.
That's right, and no swears.
Yeah.
Okay, so
so-
we have
yes.
approved that motion, and now we're on other business. So, let's see. So, shall I read Ellie's motion?
Yes.
Okay, so I move the following: to allow the treasurer to abate small amounts of property taxes due up to $1.50 per taxpayer due to A, the rounding differences between Vermont PI
VTI.
parentheses, state program used by assessor clerk listers to track brand list, end of parentheses, and NEMRIC brand list program, comma, and or B, other causes. The treasurer will weigh this action against the cost of the following: staff time to deal with said abatement and postage to send revised bills, and possibly delinquent tax bills for such a small amount, and a parentheses, to taxpayers. So is there a second to this motion?
One second.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Okay, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye too. Any abstentions? Any opposed? Okay, then I move this next motion to allow the treasurer to eliminate small property tax credits of up to $1.50 per taxpayer due to the A, rounding differences between Vermont PI, state program used by assessor clerk listers to track brand list, and NEMRIC brand list program, and or B, other causes. The treasurer will weigh this action against the cost of the following: staff time to deal with said credit and postage to send revised bills. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, and so there's also backup information about postage and staff time and print and ink and all.
Can I ask a question about this
Yes.
before we vote?
Yeah,
Ellie, I'm assuming this is a one-year thing, that it is because of the data difference between the state tax and NEMRIC, that it's not gonna, it won't occur next year? Or is this something that you're asking to be, what?
Is it a policy?
That's what I'm asking, is this like a correction for
I
this
don't
year?
know if it's gonna occur every year.
So,
If it's a rounding issue, I don't know if it's gonna
Yeah,
occur every year.
it
It
seems-
shouldn't.
it seems to me we're talking just about this fiscal year, this tax year,
I
right?
think even if it were a policy, it should be voted upon every year anyway.
Okay, so I don't think we're not adopting a policy, we're just allowing,
To do
we're
it this
authorizing
way.
you to do what you need to do.
Okay.
I just wanna make,
And then
are
we'll
we
revisit
clear?
it next
Is that
year.
right?
Yes, that's right, and I have a question for Ellie too.
Okay,
Sure.
So I have Lisa's comment, saying that the rounding goes up to $2.02.
Actually, I wrote back to her, she was incorrect. It was a
Oh,
dollar.
okay, so your
a dollar
number is
two.
good. Perfect,
She was misremembering.
excellent,
I just made it up to $1.50 in case I missed something, but
Okay.
there's.
great.
Thank you.
yeah, thank you for
Thank
this
you, Sheila.
diligence. Okay, are we ready to vote? Is there any other questions, comments? Okay, all in favor of accepting this motion indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining? Okay, we have adopted this motion.
I have one more comment to make, I'm sorry, I think the record should show that we did this because it's time sensitive and we did it instead of calling a special select board meeting. It needed to be done on or before the 15th.
Okay,
In other
Okay.
business.
in other business, yes, a great use for other
That was
business.
brilliant, Sheila, thanks.
Yes,
Thank you for-
okay.
Thank you for that, it's gonna save me a lot of time.
Yeah.
No, really, and the effort.
And money, my God.
And money, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
The
we're watching every
effort
dollar in
it
our
would
budget now, so.
That's right.
Okay. Okay, so now it's time to review actions taken.
No,
Oh, we're not?
I have correspondence.
Oh, Carmen, I'm so sorry,
I'm
Erica.
sorry to interrupt you.
No, I love correspondence.
Okay, so I have two that are quite related. Here. I'll do bad news first. This email was subject line, suspension of RPC work under Emergency Management Performance Grant. There is a FEMA grant that is in question, and so that is taken away the ability of our Regional Planning Commission to do some of its work related to emergency management and FEMA stuff. They hope to have workarounds and other options in place if anybody ever needs that, but this one particular program is on hold.
And that is from the
Because-
state, federal?
Federal.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's part of the
FEMA.
hatchet job.
Yep,
Mm.
yep. Okay, so here is a communication from Friday to select boards about Vermont drought response.
Oh.
There are a number of links to helpful resources. Drought.vermont.gov is a drought reporter if you are having issues like your well being dry. There's another link for fire information. So the state is monitoring the drought and they have a reporter and potential help for people who are having issues with their water.
And I certainly think that this drought should be added to the scope of the emergency management group.
Does anybody know, has anybody heard wells drying up in Guilford?
I haven't yet.
I
The creek is dry.
Yeah, 2 of our streams are dry.
Yeah.
Where?
All the streams
On our
are
property
dry.
too. We have 3 different streams that come into our property and 2 of them,
Hmm.
one's totally dry. The
So
other
how do
one's
people
good.
hear about this? On Front Porch Forum or on the website or, cause,
I can put a notice on the website. Might crowd out some other things.
yeah, I know, I'm just,
It has been in the news as well, if anybody
Right.
watches the news.
but
I can do a front porch forum.
Well, I think that there's a meeting this week about flood responses in Guilford, isn't there? And maybe it can be announced at that meeting as well.
Really? I can put it on front porch. Okay, so, related, Vermont issues statewide ban on debris burning. This is news today. No burning permits shall be issued.
Yeah, and Uriel already put that in front porch form, I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
Yeah, and he gave me this, so I'm reporting it to you all. And my last piece of correspondence is from Erin Kachuk from the Historical Society, who is thanking the Select Board for advocating and care of the paint job at the museum. Mo and his crew took really good care and did a fantastic job. The board is so very pleased to have a beautiful building to hold all of Guilford's history.
That is great.
That's it.
Well, thank you so much, Erica, for the scope of our correspondence. And I will remember in the future about correspondence. Okay, so actions we have taken. Okay, so we approved the amended minutes. We approved the warrants. We approved the Ruck-Up coin drop. We approved the guardrail estimate for Tyler Hill Road. We had a lively conversation about traffic ordinances, and we voted to accept the offer of Vermont Roadworks to donate painting on the Guilford Center Route 5 intersection. Did we do anything else that was, what is it, Erica? I see.
Kyle Parker has a public comment to make.
Oh, Kyle,
He is
okay.
unable to raise his hand for some reason.
Oh, Kyle, go right ahead.
He's muted, I think.
He's muted.
Still muted.
Kyle can,
Should I wait till the public comment? Hi, everybody.
Hey, Laura, no, very good.
Sorry, I'm unable to join this evening. So quickly, I just wanted to touch base quickly on the Senator Hunt Road one-way section. So a couple months ago, Tara had mentioned this one-way section. So I kind of had done my own scoping study, and living right there, I've been able to kind of get a few tidbits of information just to pass along to everybody. So this road is used by a lot of different businesses that from Leiden, Coleraine, Halifax, Jacksonville that do come up this area and use this as a crossway. What else do we have here? Basically what I've come to the conclusion is we should just have it remain the same. And the Senator Hunt Road, there's a few options that we can have happen here. The road could get widened about 2 to 3 feet if possible, just to make it safer for cars to be able to pass each other. Because there have been times where, you have to slow down to pass each other. Or you can have a sign at the top of Senator Hunt Road coming down, giving the right of way to any cars that are coming up. So they would have to just back up if they met them one-on-one. And also you could have a sign at the bottom just telling the people that are going up the hill that the drivers coming downhill have a right of way, just to forewarn them. So if we were to make this a one-way, the cars would have to travel north onto Heinsberg and take a right onto Carpenter Hill Road, which I have a 21-foot long truck, and to stay within the yellow lanes, you have to do a 2-point turn. So it means you have to back up and then drive ahead again. So to do a 1-point turn, you have to travel into the south coming lane on the other side of the yellow lane to make a wide turn. So it's very unsafe there. So any truck longer than 21 feet will have to do a 2 to 3 point turn, leading them into the opposite side of the traffic oncoming. That's 45 miles an hour around a corner, which is not safe. Also, if you have a trailer, you won't be able to back up on that corner turn. Excuse me. You'll end up jackknifing your trailer. So there's really no way to safely do a one-way section there unless there was serious road maintenance work up at the north end section of Carpenter Hill Road. So logistically and financially, those were my two options that I could come up with for the town, would just be offering signage and or potentially speaking with Jim and just seeing if we could potentially widen the Senator Hunt Road at all. That way to make it a little bit more safe for cars that were traveling at each other, just so there wasn't any accidents in the future. So that was my long-winded story for you guys. Sorry to keep it so long, but that was what I have for kind of what I figured out as the scoping study that I came up with, and just wanted to pass it along.
That's great, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks a whole lot. Sorry you couldn't be here with us.
Yeah, I'd much rather be in person.
One of the things, like Nan had called me over the weekend, and one of the things that I had talked about with Fred is making the road wider. It is, because it's not safe and it's only wide enough for one car, it is the town's responsibility to try to make it safe. So I think that we need to talk about that next. And your ideas with the signs are really great too.
Awesome. It's good to hear. Thank you, Tara.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle.
Okay, so are we at that point?
I know, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I'll entertain that motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, is there any further conversation?
Just a reminder that our next meeting is on a Wednesday, right?
Oh, that's right, and
That's
I
really
had
good for
something I
me.
wanted to tell you,
Remind
Tara.
myself.
Just to remind, I'm not reminding you, I'm just telling you. I'm going to be in New York, and I will Zoom into that meeting,
Okay,
and I
that
hope you will
Wednesday.
chair it.
Sure.
Great. Okay, I will enjoy that so much.
Can we
Okay.
vote on adjournment.
Well, I just thought we
Or did we
should
not?
dawdle a while. No, only joking.
We have to
Okay.
vote on adjournment.
We did.
Oh, we did?
Okay.
Oh, sorry, missed it.
Did we?
I don't think we, okay,
say
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.